Okay, let's talk about something that I'm sure you've noticed, a real paradox right at the heart of the modern corporate world. It's this question that just keeps popping up. It's crazy, right? We are absolutely swimming in legislation, codes of practice, you name it. The rule books have never been thicker. And yet, huge, company-ending governance failures seem to be in the news constantly. So, what are we getting so fundamentally wrong? All right, let's really get into this. The problem? Well, it comes down to a really basic human instinct. We want to control things. We want to predict what's going to happen. And our entire approach to governance is built on that idea. We think if we just write one more rule, we can guarantee a good outcome. But the reality is we're dealing with people, with human choices. And you just can't control the beautiful, messy complexity of human behavior with a rule book. It doesn't work. So here's the big mental shift we need to make. We've got to stop thinking about governance as a noun, a static thing, a framework you comply with, and start seeing it as a verb. It's the act of governing. It's a living, breathing process. A group of people make a decision, they do something, they see what happens, they learn, and then they make another decision. It's this constant loop, and it's deeply, deeply human. So if we're going to talk about the act of governing, what does that actually look like? Well, you can think of it as resting on three equally important pillars. First, the quality of the decisions you're making. Second, how well you actually implement them. And third, the organization's culture. Now, I really want to stress this. Culture is not the soft, fluffy stuff. It's a powerful driver of performance that is constantly shaping the other two pillars. Okay, so if culture is that important, and it is, the next question is obvious. How can leaders actually shape it? I mean, it can feel so intangible, right? Well, it turns out the research points to some very specific, very concrete levers you can actually pull. And here they are. These 4 levers will shape your culture far more than any policy document ever could. First up, embedding purpose and values, making sure everyone knows why they're doing what they're doing. Next, values-led behaviors, which just means your actions have to match your words. Then there's empathic and compassionate leadership, actually understanding your people. And finally, courageous leadership, making the tough, right calls, especially when it's hard. These are the things that actually drive how people behave. So we've got these levers, but just knowing about them isn't enough because pulling them isn't always simple. Why? Because an organization isn't like a simple machine where you pull lever A and get result B. Nope. It's a complex living system where everything is interconnected. And that's exactly why so many huge, expensive change programs just fail. And when you look at the data, it is just awful. Seriously, it doesn't matter if you look at McKinsey, Deloitte, whoever, the numbers tell the same story. Big, top-down transformation projects have at best a 20% chance of success. Just let that sink in. You're about to spend $1 million, and I'm telling you there's an 80% chance it's all going to be for nothing. Would you make that bet? But what if we could flip those odds completely? The data is showing us that if we just ditch that old linear way of thinking and start treating the organization like the complex system it is, we can push that success rate to over 60%. That is a total game changer. It takes transformation from a long shot to something that's actually likely to happen. Now, I know this might sound a bit theoretical, so let me show you a really powerful, real-world case study that shows exactly how this works. Okay, so check this out. There was this global fund manager that wanted to up its game. But instead of some massive company-wide overhaul, they did a systems analysis. And they found their key leverage point, a lack of psychological safety. People just didn't feel safe to speak up. So they focused all their effort on just that one thing. And the results, after only a year, were staggering. As you can see, staff turnover went down, while engagement, diversity, inclusion, transparency, and trust all shot up. A massive system-wide win from one tiny targeted nudge. And this chart is where you really see the magic of systems thinking. So the area they actually focused on, it improved by 9%. That's pretty good. But look at this. The quality of information, an area they didn't even touch, improved by 13%. Communication quality went up 10% because in a complex system, a small push in just the right place creates this huge wave of positive change everywhere else. And really, this is the whole lesson in a nutshell. The challenge isn't about throwing more money or launching bigger projects. It's about having the insight to find those key leverage points. It's all about knowing what the right small things are. So what's the takeaway for you and your organization? It's really about shifting your whole perspective. Stop asking, how do we enforce more rules? And start asking, where are the key connections in our system? Where can one small nudge create the biggest ripple effect? And that's the question I really want to leave you with today. Forget about the giant, overwhelming transformation plans. Instead, try to think like a systems scientist. What is the one small, high-leverage action that you could take that would start to shift the entire system for the better? Finding that answer, now that is the true act of governing.